Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our fifth episode of Suspire Talks. Today we have the founder of Batti Co, Ms. Faiza Husain. Welcome to our show and thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Can
Thank
you
you for having
please
me.
can you please introduce yourself and your brand to everyone?
Sure, sure. So I'm Faaizah Husain. I'm the founder of Batti Co. And yeah, I mean, that has been my identity for the last few years and I'm loving it.
Great. So
Yeah,
can you tell us a bit more about what Batti Co is, what are the
sure.
products you have?
So Batti Co is a bath, body, and home fragrance brand. These are the three categories that we deal in. Primarily, all the products are vegan and handcrafted. It's a women-owned and women-run brand, so it's a completely, safe space for women to work in. All kinds of women are attached to us. We have a very small team, but it's just women all across, right from salespeople to office people to business development people to everybody.
Wow, that's really inspiring.
Thank you.
So of course we've had you on for a couple of months on Suspire.
Yeah,
Your bath soaps look very nice, you know.
thank you.
So what I wanted to know more about is what really inspired you to start Batti and Co during the pandemic, I believe.
Yeah. So basically, it started out as something to do like a hobby to kill the time that we all had. Like we had a lot of extra time on our hands during pandemic
Hmm.
because we're not traveling, not throwing in 2 to 3 hours every day in travel. So it just started out as a hobby. I got really interested in it, started reading books about it, did few international and national courses, and yeah, that's how this all started. It was a
Nice.
hobby.
All right. So if you go back to time, right? Go back in time to when you did start. What is the one thing or a couple of things that you think you would change if you had the opportunity to do that?
One thing for sure is even if today you start a hobby and you think it's going to be hobby for the rest of your life, still keep accounts.
Hmm.
Okay, still maintain records of contacts and keep a track of how much money you're putting in and how much money you're making, even if you're not making much
Hmm.
or not making anything. So because it started out as a hobby for me, I never kept accounts of it. And for the first entire year, it was just hobby, 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 friends, family buying it
Hmm.
here, there. But now that we are here 3 years later, I really wish I had all contacts, all accounts of people who bought stuff from me, what they liked, what they didn't like, etc.
Absolutely. No, I think tabulating data and
Yeah,
having the data points that it really helps to analyze and go in further
yeah,
to also know what your target audience is, what they like, what they don't like, and
exactly.
retargeting and getting more orders from them itself.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I think there are so many lessons that we learned throughout our journey, right? So Saspire, it's been
Absolutely.
2 years since we started,
Right.
and if I were to go back in time, right, there was just so many things that I feel would have been done differently, which are now
Sure.
being done. So it feels like we're in a few ways starting all over again. But I guess it's
Yeah.
never too late. So
But I think that's just the journey that all entrepreneurs go through.
hmm.
Every day you just reevaluate everything that you have done before, and then you start afresh. And I think
Absolutely,
that's growth, right?
yeah, no,
Improving
absolutely.
every day.
And whoever I speak to, so like I mentioned, this is the fifth episode, right? So
Right.
we've spoken to four other brands earlier. I believe there is not one single person who I have spoken to so far that has said that they wouldn't want to change anything and then they're happy with everything that they've done. There's
Of
always
course.
learnings and there's
Of
always,
course.
yeah, yeah.
Of course. Even if you ask me about what you did yesterday and how you would do it today, I think I will have a different answer.
Yeah, no, makes sense. So I mean, just getting into more about the products that you have, right? So how do
Sure.
you go about formulating them? What are the ingredients that you pick out? You carefully select them. What are the sourcing, story for those?
So basically, as I said, I have gone through numerous books that have been written by very renowned uh, experts of skincare and herbal ingredients, etc., national and international authors. And I have myself co-authored a book on Indian herbs, which are like magic to Indian skin.
Hmm.
So local ingredients, everything that's present in India. Uh, so basically, I've gathered a lot of knowledge. From that knowledge comes the formulations. So if I'm, let's say, deciding that I want to create a body butter, looking at the general temperature in our country, I mean, I'm not talking about, let's say, Delhi ki sardi, which is like, hardcore 4 months of winters. But I'm talking like a general climate, which is towards warmer and humid side.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to create butters, but I wanted to create butters which are water based,
All right.
right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I do use shea butter and I do use avocado butter in them. So the
Mm-hmm.
actual butters of these fruits are being used, fruits and seeds,
Mm-hmm.
but I kept them more water based. While the world's creating everything which is, just a mix of all three, four butters, which are really heavy for your skin. You can hardly use it on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So, my understanding and my formulation and my ingredients actually come from what I experience around me, things that I've heard people talk or crib about, or generally like, oh, I use this and it's so sticky, or
Mm-hmm.
when I travel to Delhi, I prefer this body lotion versus when I'm in Bombay, I prefer this. So
Yeah.
it's like these are the little snippets that you have to observe on a very daily basis.
No, that's, I mean, you've studied this, you've co-authored
Yeah,
a book, so I
yeah.
think the knowledge you have is of course tremendous, and basis that you've started your own brand, which is quite, impressive. So good job on that.
Thank you.
Um, if you can tell us a bit more about the differences between, say, an avocado butter or shea butter
All
versus
right,
the water-based butters that you're using. What
all right.
exactly is the traditional, like what is the process for that, and how is it different?
So, for example, I mean, see, shea butter, avocado butters are ingredients. Body butter that we create is the product,
Right.
right? Now, in that product, the formulation is such where we are using shea butter, we're using avocado butter, and we're using water.
Mm-hmm.
So, what it allows me to do is, if you're applying it on your skin, avocado and shea butter, which are natural butters and heavy butters, they give you hydration.
Mm-hmm.
So they go well within your skin and give you hydration. But because they are water based, there is no stickiness on the surface of your skin. So there's
Got
no
it.
moisturization, but there is a lot of hydration. Now,
Right.
where our Aam Janta generally gets confused is, oh, we need to moisturize. No,
Mm-hmm.
you don't. You need to hydrate.
Hydrate. Right.
So moisturization is always surface level. Hydration is
Deeper level.
deeper
Mm-hmm.
in within your body, within your skin. That's why when people say that you need to drink more water, they say hydrate. They
Yeah,
don't say
it's
moisturize your
moisture.
intestines,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
of course.
So that's why anything that we make, it hydrates and not just surface level moisturizes.
Mm-hmm.
And part of your question was, how is shea butter different from avocado butter and few other butters that we use? Shea butter is one of the more moderate butters. It's not the heaviest, it's not the lightest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very, very skin loving as an ingredient. So it really helps in most of our formulations. When we want to use something which is lightweight, we use avocado butter or aloe vera butter.
Mm-hmm.
तो बटर हर चीज के बनते
Of course, of course.
हैं.
Yeah, I mean, ingredients,
Yeah,
materials nowadays,
yeah,
even materials, we're seeing so many different sort of
yeah,
plant-based, fruit-based leathers coming in.
yeah.
Pineapple leather, apple leather, grape
Oh,
leather.
yeah.
So many different
And it's
types of.
so cool, yeah. Like it's just amazing stuff that people are doing even on the apparel
Yeah, yeah, the material
front.
science side, I think things are really picking up, and we're seeing a
Yeah,
lot of growth even in India. So
absolutely.
we have a couple of brands on Suspire that are using these materials as well. And of course, you mentioned so many different types of butters coming in.
Yeah,
So a lot of innovation, a lot of utilization of the
yeah,
ingredients and materials that we
yeah.
have.
So these butters actually, they have been prevalent in the world since quite a few years now.
Hmm.
It's just that now in India we are being a little bit more susceptible to be able to use it, to be able to accept it.
Hmm.
I mean, till 10-15 years back, we were happy with cocoa butter.
Yeah.
Vaseline ने cocoa butter का निकाल दिया था, moisturizer, and we were
Hmm.
so happy with cocoa butter. But now people are understanding the new ingredients, and not just butters. Yeah, like there are clays that are being used in skincare and different kinds of waxes in home fragrances, etc., etc. Like it's
Yeah,
just
yeah. So I also believe you guys use a cold process soap making technique, which
yes,
of course goes back to a very traditional method. So what is the
yeah.
process behind that?
So basically, my entire brand started with cold process soaps.
All right.
We call them Battis,
Mm-hmm.
and hence the brand name Battis. So it's basically sabun ki batti.
Mm-hmm.
So that's from where the brand name comes from. And the entire cold process soap making process is where, as the name suggests, we don't use any kind of heat. Okay,
Mhm.
because आपने generally भी सुना होगा, for the food that you eat, the lesser it's cooked, the better it is. I mean, it's supposed to be cooked, but not overcooked,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
So you don't want to kill the nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Same theory applies for skincare.
Correct.
The lesser heat that's being used during the making of the formulation, the better it is. The more nutritional value is being retained in the ingredients,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there are hot. So there are 2, 3 different processes of making soap. Hot process is where you literally are just like ubaloing the soap and you're just boiling it, and I mean, it's not the worst process. I would not say or not condemn hot process soaps. They are also great.
Mm-hmm.
But from my understanding, I realized that cold process soaps are the best because zero heat being involved. Again, a lot of oils and vegan butters are used. Essential oils are used in it. Even when we color our soaps, it's with clays. It's not with artificial color.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that's touching your skin and will go into the pores and hence into your bloodstream,
Completely natural,
everything is natural.
organic. Nice.
No chemical.
Great, great. No, that I mean that's great to hear.
Yeah.
In the whole process, I think you're educating me and of course a lot of people watching as well, which is really nice. So that's great. Just going back to a point you mentioned about the brand name. So you said
Yeah.
Sabun Ki Batti. What exactly does that mean? And again, if you could just elaborate on why the name Batti and Co.
So, as I said, a cold process soap was my first ever product. When I started making that, I not thought that we'll have other products in
Mm-hmm.
the zone. So, and it's it's in so I come from a state called Chhattisgarh, and it's a Hindi Bhashi Kshetra. It's a Hindi Bhashi state,
Mm-hmm.
and so the story is that I love my Hindi language. I love to use my desi language. I have that connection with the language. और साबुन की बट्टी बोलते हैं, जो साबुन का केक ऑफ सोप होता है ना,
Mm-hmm.
how you refer to that, oh that's a cake of soap,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So उसको हिंदी में साबुन की बट्टी बोलते हैं.
got it.
So hence the word batti comes from sabun ki batti.
No, I mean, yeah, that's also for a lot of people who may not understand this. This is
Yeah.
you're very
No, but
very
it's not. It's only colloquial in very Hindi pro
speaking
states.
states.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So
yeah.
more Central India
Nice.
kind of a
So
thing.
of course you mentioned that you come from Chhattisgarh, right?
Yeah.
Are there any traditional sustainable formulations or any sort of traditional sustainable practices that you have incorporated in your brand from your culture or from where you come from?
So nothing in particular. I mean, these are the kind of sustainable practices that we are, using in our business right now are more or less any kind of sustainable practice.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are the practices being used by any sustainable brand, business, eco-friendly business, may it be a Chennai-based brand or a Chhattisgarh-based brand or Delhi-based brand.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things that are there. But uh, why I use these sustainable practices is because I come from a state like Chhattisgarh. It is I mean, few parts of it are definitely, all commercialized now, by now.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many gorgeous parts of that state which are untouched
Mm-hmm.
and, green and healthy and nature is intact. And when you go to those parts, and that's when you feel the need to take care of the nature,
Yeah,
in whatever way you can,
absolutely.
राइट. चाहे आप एक प्लास्टिक का टूथब्रश छोड़ दो, चाहे आप कुछ भी कर दो, बट
Mm-hmm.
यू जस्ट वांट टू टेक केयर ऑफ द नेचर. दैट्स सो गॉर्जियस.
Yeah, no, I think all of us on Suspire at least, I think we have over 200 brands right now,
या.
right? And there's brands from all over the country, right? You can name the place and there's a brand originating from that place, which is
Yeah.
just so inspiring and
Yeah.
just something great that's coming out of our country, right? People are aware about this not
Absolutely.
only in say the metro cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi,
Yeah.
but also other cities, could it be tier two, tier three, all across the country,
Absolutely.
and then you want to hold your heritage, you want to
Yeah.
maintain it, you want to ensure that it's
Exactly.
intact and do what you can to protect it, to preserve it, and yeah, that's great to know. I mean, a lot of people doing that, and I wish that it continues, and I just wish that there is
Yeah.
a lot more founders coming in from the other places as well, and
Right.
that's honestly very inspiring.
And I mean, thanks to brands like yours, honestly, because what, you guys give us a platform to kind of just easily put our products and our brands out there, because it's quite a struggle, yeah. I mean, for all small businesses to be out there, to open up markets, to get exposure.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad what you guys are
No,
doing.
thank you. I mean, we're a small brand ourselves and nothing
Mm.
without you guys, right? Because, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad we're
Yeah.
working on this together
Yeah,
and
of course, collaboration is
spreading.
everything, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I also notice, of course, that you guys have other products apart from just the soaps,
Yes.
right? So if you can tell the viewers a bit more about what is the other range of products that you have, and how did you get into sort of formulating those and making those? And a third question to that, sorry, also is that what are the future products that you think that you may want to get into?
Okay. So basically, as I said, bath, body, and home fragrances. These are the three categories that I am currently playing in.
Mm-hmm.
Under bath, we have cold processed soaps. We have whipped soaps. Whipped soaps are essentially gorgeous, airy, fluffy, almost
Like a
cake
whipped cream,
icing.
like a
Yeah,
whipped
like whipped
cream.
cream.
Yeah.
Okay, in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a body wash.
Yeah.
You just scoop it out, take a shower. You just need like this much.
Yep.
So that's a new innovative format of a body wash instead of gels and liquids and
Yeah.
all. Then we have foaming scrubs. We have cream based scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so this is my bath category. Then we have bath salts also in this category. Bath salts or foot soaks. I mean, they are really great for muscle relaxation and all of that. And we have the body category, under which I have body butters, I have lip butters, lip scrubs. Then we have the entire home fragrance range, where we have four different types of candles. They're all
Mm-hmm.
container candles,
Mm-hmm.
but around 12 fragrances in them. All fragrances are concocted by me. I mean, obviously, we take ready-made fragrances, but we
Mm-hmm.
do our own concoctions
Nice.
with those
Okay.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Second part of your question was, how did I come across this entire, like,
Mm-hmm.
how did I think of this range?
Yeah.
Honestly, it just happened very organically. As I said, I started with cold process, then
Of course. Yeah. What makes sense is to move on to other complementary
yeah,
products and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
complementary products, and people said, so people were picking up my products for gifting right from the day one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, probably because they thought, oh, kuch to naya hai, and when we have any kind of novelty, we want to use it in gifting.
Right.
So a few friends of mine suggested, hey, you should have candles, because soaps and candles go together.
Mm-hmm.
So if people are picking it up in the category of gifting, candles would add to the value.
Mm-hmm.
That's how candles happen. So I started with two fragrances, then I moved on to some other fragrances, new containers, this, that, so all that happened. Then somebody spoke about, yeah, I mean, if you're doing this, so why not bath salts?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had a whole contemplation on, kya re, bath salt, bathtub aaj ki tarikh mein hai kiske paas,
Mm.
right? But I mean, then I also realized that these are not just bath salts; they're foot soaks too. I mean, we get pedicures all the time,
Yeah.
women, right?
Yeah.
Most of us, and even men these
Yeah.
days.
Of course.
So that's how the bath salts came in. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just very organic process. Then I realized we need some kind of creams and butters, etc. When the body butters came in, then people said we wanted something for the lips also, face. So yeah, that's
Listening to what the audience
it's
wants
yes,
and yeah,
yes,
organically just yeah, makes sense
absolutely,
absolutely because of course the entire range complements what you started off with as well, right? Which is in
yeah,
the personal care and beauty
absolutely,
space.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And to answer your third part of your question, which is where is this going and how many more products, etc. I think this process is going to, as much as I see in the future, it's going to be very organic. As and when whatever need gaps we see, we will going to fill. Inshallah, very soon we will also have body lotions and face masks, etc.
Hmm.
Uh, soon.
All right, no, that's great. Where does your manufacturing and the whole R&D process take place?
Everything happens right here in Mumbai, in
Okay.
our small little workshop and an office that we
Mm-hmm.
have together
Mm-hmm.
in Mumbai. So I have a small production team. So I formulate, I do the initial production till the time R&D is done and till the time the first batch is out, etc. And then me as well as the production team, we both put together, do all productions. And we are a small batch company, so we don't do like mass producing of any product because natural stuff.
Yeah.
It's always better to give something fresh to
Of
people.
course. Yes. Yeah.
So we do small batches. So every week, 1 or 2 days are production days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're more made to order as well in a way where you're
In a
depending
way,
on the demand,
depending
you're
on the
creating
demand
more
essentially.
products
So
and
we
not.
obviously, we kind of track, like for example, right now is the festive season and we already know that there will be demand. So then we keep a little extra stock.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. No, absolutely. And that you're being true to your sustainable values in that way
Yes,
as well by not
absolutely.
mass producing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I really want to cut down on wastage.
Waste. Exactly.
We are not zero waste yet, but I think each step that I'm taking is in that direction.
No, absolutely. I mean, no one is perfect, not one single brand or,
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot to reach the whole net,
Oh yeah, yeah.
negative,
Oh yeah.
carbon negative space.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's a journey which, of course, all of us are in together.
Yeah.
So last question, right? What is it that you do in your daily life that sort of incorporates a sustainable lifestyle, and what you know, advice do you have for people watching as to how they can sort of adopt a more sustainable lifestyle and at least take a start and
Right.
take a leap towards living a sustainable lifestyle?
So I think I will just combine both your questions,
Yeah.
as in what I do in my personal life
Mm-hmm.
to be sustainable and what people can do,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm also part of people, right?
Right. Right.
First of all, try to be as aware as possible of the repercussions of not being sustainable,
Mm-hmm.
right? What it does is it motivates you to take one step at a time, and that's exactly what I would ask any one of you to do. Take one small step at a time. It can, as I said, it can be a wooden toothbrush that you use, like a bamboo toothbrush. Use, I mean, carry your glass or steel straws. I mean, we all carry huge bags all the time. Just one straw is not going to bother you. Avoid, uh, those carry bags, the plastic carry bags. Carry your own cloth handbags or something. Anything, yeah, anything small, little. If you can walk the distance, don't drive the distance. If you can carpool, do it. Anything. I mean, these are all the small little things that we all are more or less aware of. It's just that sometimes we are little spoiled and we're like, "Nahi na, chodo, let's
Yeah.
not."
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's all about convenience.
Yeah,
We're so used to our habits and how convenient
exactly.
things are for us. But having said that, brands like yours, so many other brands are making things convenient for people to
And
also.
pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think one of the major reasons, few things don't get picked up is because either they are not stylish enough, they are not pretty enough, they are not impressive
Trendy
enough.
enough. Yeah.
Okay. So like for example, if I buy a T-shirt, right? I would love to know it's bamboo material or a bag which is made of pineapple leather or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it also needs to look good.
Of
I'm
course.
sorry, but it does. So hence, I mean, brands like ours are trying to make these natural, chemical-free, sustainable things look pretty.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
that's very important, and that's what the people want, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I would want it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I would pick up my own whip soap, and sorry, not because I'm the founder. I would pick up my whip soap over just like a jet yellow looking one something, one translucent bar of soap.
For sure. Yeah.
So something boring is going to not catch your eye.
Yeah, and it's our job as entrepreneurs and promoting sustainability to also keep in mind and use ways and
Yeah.
and I'm not saying manipulate customers, but of course be
Oh, not at
transparent,
all.
but use ways to sort of incentivize them or
Yeah.
make it more appealing to someone to actually make that transition
Exactly.
and also make it convenient for them.
Yeah, I mean, if I can give you what you want and what you desire
Yeah.
in a sustainable way,
Exactly. Yeah.
that's all I want to do. I don't
Yeah.
want to tell you to, oh, go buy that because it's that. No, I'm giving you something which you would like,
Yep.
but just sustainable.
Absolutely. No, that's exactly
Yeah.
what I think all of us need to continue doing.
Yeah,
And of course,
yeah.
awareness is a very big aspect here,
Very
right?
big aspect.
Because
Yeah.
people in our country, majority in the masses may not be aware of why someone needs to live a sustainable lifestyle.
Right.
But I guess the demand and the knowledge, of course, is increasing over time. We're
Yeah.
seeing a lot more demand and a lot more supply as well in terms of more brands coming in, right? Like I
Yes.
mentioned, Suspire itself has more than 200 plus brands, and there's
And that's
so
incredible.
many more.
Imagine.
Yeah, there's so many more
And
out
there are
there.
so many more out
Yeah,
there.
at least, I mean, in our database itself, I think we have around 1,000. We know of at least 1,000 brands. So
And I'm sure
across
there are
categories.
many, many more because the amount of pop ups and the exhibitions and these markets that I have attended as the brand,
Yeah.
I've seen so many brands, yeah, and doing excellent work.
Hmm.
Excellent. If I could remember all their names, I would love to hype them all up here.
Yeah,
I mean, because they all deserve to be hyped. They're
absolutely.
doing great work.
Yeah, and that's our attempt basically of doing this interview as well with
Yeah,
you, to sort of for people to know a bit more about
right,
your brand, to know a bit more about you,
right.
and of course we'll continue doing more interviews with you and of course other brands as well.
Sure.
But yeah, I just have to say thank you so much for taking time out. You're actually this out of the five interviews that we've done, including today,
Right.
you're the first beauty and personal care brand that we've had.
Oh,
So I
yay!
think a lot of consumers here would also be very, educated, and I was educated as well on various processes that you guys use. And yeah, thank you for taking us through that and for
Thank
coming down. We
you.
really appreciate.
No,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you for having us here. Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye.